Hi, I'm Rachel Woody with Rachel Christine Consulting, and today we're going to talk about how to identify and get around grant writing roadblocks. This video will introduce two different exercises to help you get to the root of why you are not writing grants, or if you are writing grants, why you are not successful. The first technique is the 5 whys. The 5 whys was created by Sakichi Toyota of Toyota Motor Corporation. And the 5 whys starts with the first question, why, statement, and each iterative why to help you get to the root of the problem for a total of 5 whys. For example, why aren't you writing grants? Well, because it's overwhelming. Why is it overwhelming? Because I don't know what kind of ideas would be great for grant funding. Why is that? Well, I'm not totally comfortable with what our museum needs are or what grant funders would want to fund. Why? Because I'm not completely aware of the funding opportunities and what they usually fund. Why? Because I've not done the research yet for what makes a good funding opportunity, and I've not dug into the museum needs yet to identify what could be good grant projects. Now, through that exercise, it uncovered a couple areas where the staff member could either get some outside help or input or do a little bit more research in terms of what the museum or archive needs are and also what funding agencies are looking for in terms of a grant project. Now, if you're hoping for something a little bit more direct, I do have 6 direct questions to help guide you through where you can either jot down your immediate responses or discuss your answers with peers. So for the first question, it's why aren't you writing grants? Think about that, jot it down, talk with your friends. The second question is what's stopping you from going after grants? The third question is what grant areas do you need support with? The fourth question is what circumstances are you currently dealing with where writing grants could help alleviate the pressure? The fifth question is what aspects of grant writing make you cringe? And the last question, what grant skills do you want to strengthen? While these prompts aren't all-encompassing, they are meant to help you get to the root of the problem, either as to why you've not been writing grants at all, or if you have been writing grants, why you've not been successful. In going through these exercises with clients, I found there's usually 7 identifiable roadblocks where you could have one or multiple. The 7 roadblocks are the staff don't know how to do the foundational work required before a grant application can be written. 2, staff don't know how to break down a grant project into feasible timeline and costs. 3, staff don't know how to convey the grant idea effectively and in a style grant reviewers can understand and appreciate. 4, staff fail to identify deliverables or neglect communicating how they will measure project success. 5, staff aren't familiar with the various grant application intricacies and fail to fulfill all application requirements. 6, staff haven't learned from previous grant rejections and keep trying the same thing. And 7, the entire grant acquisition process is a mysterious anomaly that no one knows quite how to tackle. Now, while you're doing this important work to identify and remove roadblocks to successful grant writing, it's important to have components of self-reflection, outside assessment, and sometimes bringing in some expertise and consulting. While some of these exercises can be done in-house, and while roadblocks can be removed by you and your team of staff, sometimes it can help save staff time and frustration by investing in some expert outside help. Not to say you'll always need expert help, but it can, in this circumstance, speed up the process, help you save valuable staff time and resources, and get you into the grant writing process sooner and more successfully, meaning that it's a long-term investment in your grant writing success. So I hope you found that helpful. Check out my website to see my services. Subscribe to this YouTube channel to stay up to date on the latest tips and tricks. And don't forget to get your free electronic copy of my book, A Survivor's Guide to Museum Grant Writing, courtesy of Lucida Press. Or go to Amazon.com if you'd like a paperback. Thank you.